The sun broke through the rain clouds just as the Pope began celebrating the huge open-air Mass. It was the last act of a long day of events in Bogota, in which he asked Colombians to resist what he called the thick darkness of vengeance that prevents the country from leaving the conflict behind.
There is a thick darkness which threatens and destroys life, the darkness of injustice and social inequality, the corrupting darkness of personal and group interests that consume in a selfish and uncontrolled way what is destined for the good of all.
Hundreds of thousands of people gathered since dawn to hear the Pope's message of reconciliation. Young and old, healthy and disabled.
We want to be infected with the positivity of the Pope. In Colombia, we need a lot of the grace and spirituality that he has, and we want to share with all these people a prayer to see if it will help change many things that are damaged in our country.
The government signed a peace deal with FARC rebels last year and is still negotiating with the last active guerrilla group, the ELN, but Colombians are divided on these efforts. Earlier in the day, the Pontiff addressed the country's economic and political elite in front of the presidential palace. He praised steps taken so far, but called for just laws to resolve Colombia's entrenched poverty and inequality to secure a lasting peace. A message that will resonate with all Colombians.
This is what the Pope came to do here, help with the peace process, but also make sure that after 60 years of conflict, Colombia can have a peace with social justice and the major reforms we need in our social, economic and political aspects.
On Friday, the Pope will travel to the city of Villavicencio on the Colombian plains, where he'll lead a prayer with 6,000 victims of the country's conflict, another highly symbolic moment in his efforts to help Colombia move on after decades of war. Alessandro Rampietti, Al Jazeera, Bogota.